What's up, guys? Jeff here with Grit City Fitness and Performance. Lately I've been talking a lot about nutrition in general, going over total daily energy expenditure, understanding protein, carbs, and fats, what macros are, and all that. Now, one of the continuation questions that I get is how to build a plan that's going to yield results. And it's actually very simple, and I have a good, better, best approach to this. And in this video, I'm going to explain what it is and how to implement it. Now, first thing I want you to do is go to this link, okay? It's going to be bit.ly/GC calculator, okay? So bit.ly/GC calculator. This is going to take you to the Eat to Perform Nutrition Calculator. This calculator is going to break down your total daily energy expenditure and what kind of calorie requirements you need to see results. Now, the reason I want you to do this is because we want to know where you need to be with calories. And this is because we're going to be using a flexible dieting approach. The reason I recommend flexible dieting is because after about 10 years of training clients, working with all different nutrition platforms and protocols, it is the best that I've seen. The reason that it is the best is because it helps reduce binge eating. It allows you more flexibility with your food choices. You have more range of options with your daily nutrition. It alleviates eating disorders and bad eating habits. It also is a lot easier to follow long term. And it's not just a diet to get you where you want to go, but it's something that you can do to get you where you want to go and continue doing long term to maintain results or continue to see more results. So that's why flexible dieting is a much better approach than just following a specific meal plan or protocol, because this system works and yields long-term results and sustainability, which is much more important than a fast fix and then rebounding like most diets. It also, again, as mentioned, eliminates binge eating. It helps with those with eating disorders. It doesn't lead to eating disorders like most diets do. It's easier to follow and just overall much better. So let me go right into what I recommend when it comes to nutrition. Go to this site and you're going to use their Eat to Perform Nutrition Calculator. That calculator is going to ask you a few questions, including your weight, your height, your body fat, and whatnot. By doing so, I would leave the protein fields empty at this moment. I would leave the carb field empty at the moment, and the fat empty at the moment. And I'll explain why as I go through this good, better, and best approach. So, a good nutrition process and protocol to follow. The good approach is going to be hitting calories, okay? So on that calculator, after you put in all your information, it's going to give you your total daily energy expenditure, the total amount of calories that you need per day to maintain life, as well as your activity level currently. From there, you're going to see a weight loss and weight gain. Based on your goals, will be based on what calories you need to be at. So by hitting calories in general, the overviewing scope of calories for your goal, whether to lose weight or gain weight, will be beneficial and yield you positive results. It's simple to do, and you don't have to worry about anything other than just hitting your daily calories. That means if you have 3,000 daily calories, you could eat 3,000 calories in Oreos and still see a positive outcome, okay? So that's why I like this approach. So the good approach is going to be hitting the calorie requirements to either lose or gain weight or maintain your current weight. The better approach is going to be protein plus calories. What this means is you will be looking to hit your daily protein requirements, which in this case I would recommend between 0.7 grams per pound up to about 1.2 grams per pound. So that means myself, let's say I'm at 200 pounds and I'm using a 1 gram per pound protein, I'm going to consume 200 grams of protein per day, and the rest of my calories are going to come from fats and carbs. So I'm just going to make sure I hit my total daily calories like I did in the GOOD process, but I'm making it better by hitting my protein requirements every day. All right, so very simple there. Now, as I mentioned on the calculator, it does ask you about your protein. First approach is going to be doing the chart without your protein, carbs, and fats. Okay. Second approach is going to be changing the proteins to be about 0.7 to 1.2 grams per pound. So I would just set it at 1 gram per pound to make it simple and easy. Okay. So that's the better approach. The best approach is going to be a macro breakdown percentage of your calories. So what this means is you would be taking your calories that we established in our good and better categories, and now we're going to be breaking them down into percentages to make a good, proper, nutrient-dense diet that you're going to be hitting your proteins, carbs, and fats. Okay? Now, as I said, this is a good, better, best approach. What I recommend is starting with good, getting the habit of hitting your calories, doing a daily food log or calorie intake sheet, and starting to yield results. After that, then add the better approach by increasing the protein and hitting that requirement. When you start to slow down your results, or you want to really boost your results and you're feeling really good with the good and better approach, then I would add the best approach, right? I want you to think about this as good over optimal. Optimal is going to be the best approach. However, I want you to start with good and work your way into best. That way you can build the habits, you can understand what you're doing, and you can learn this process a lot better and be much more successful. Now, let's go back to the best approach, because that's where we want to be. If we, in the better approach, we mentioned that I want you to be about 0.7 to 1.2 grams per pound of protein. Okay, so as I mentioned, on the better approach, I'm going to find the calories from my Eat to Perform chart. I'm then going to look for my protein between 0.7 to 1.2 grams per pound. Okay, now when we go into the best approach, we're using a percentage breakdown versus a total overall grams per pound adjustment. Now, why we do this is because we want to make sure we're hitting the proper macronutrient breakdown based on our goals. For most people, I recommend starting with a 40, 30, 30 approach. So you're going to consume 40% of your calories from protein, 30% of your calories from carbs, and 30% of your calories from fat. Now, one other thing to note is 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories. 1 gram of carb equals 4 calories. And 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. Okay? So the reason this is important is because it makes this process simple. Okay? So let me break this down a little bit more for you. When we're doing the best approach, let's say our daily calorie requirement is 3,000. If we have a 3,000 calorie requirement per day, we then want to consume 40% of our calories from protein. So by doing that, we would be at 1,200 calories of protein. If we were at 30% carbs, we're going to be at 900 calorie of carb, and then we're also going to be at 900 calorie of fat. Okay? So that again is our calories. This will give us a total of 3,000 daily calories consumed. Now we break it down a little bit more. To break this down more, we want to take these numbers of 4 calories per gram for the proteins and carbs, and 9 calories per gram for the fats, and break it down a little bit more. What I mean here is if protein is 4 calories per gram, and we have to eat 1,200 calories, we're going to be consuming 300 grams of protein. We're going to be consuming 225 grams of carbs, and we're going to be consuming 100 grams of fat. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. We again are wanting to go from a good, better, best approach. Our end goal is to be in best. I want you to start at good. So good is using the calculator at bit.ly/GC calculator. Finding your daily total energy expenditure and your calorie requirements to lose or gain weight based on what you want to accomplish. From there, start by hitting the daily calories that is requested of you. Then you will start to yield a positive result towards your goal by changing your nutrition simply. After you get comfortable with that process, start to try and increase your protein. So we move to the better process, which the better process is going to be between 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight to 1.2 grams per pound of protein per body weight. And then the rest of the calories are going to be carbs and fats, however you want. So you could eat 90% fat and 10% carbs, just as long as the protein requirement is met, the rest of the calories can be distributed however you want. After you get good and comfortable with the protein requirement and hitting the daily calories, we then want to try and move to the best approach. That best approach, again, is going to be a macro percentage breakdown of the total calories you need to sustain life and see your results. And I would recommend starting with a 40% protein, 30% carb, and 30% fat ratio. Again, 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories, 1 gram of carb equals 4 calories, and 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. Again, if we were to look at this and we had a daily requirement of 3,000 calories to eat on a daily basis to see our weight loss goal accomplished, we would be looking at about 1,200 calories of protein, 900 calories of carbs, and 900 calories of fat. Again, using the numbers of 4 calories per gram for protein, 4 calories per gram for carbs, and 9 calories per gram of fat, we'd be consuming 300 grams of protein per day, 225 grams of carbs per day, and 100 grams of fat per day. From there, you can break this up however you want. You can consume it all in one meal or spread it out over 5. It doesn't matter, just as long as you hit those requirements. So again, this is the good, better, best approach to see your results. Start building the nutrient habits around successful eating and start to see those outcomes become possible with minor modifications from a good, better, best approach. Once you start implementing this, you'll start to see results and you'll start to build the habit of hitting the calories. Then you'll start to hit the requirements of hitting the protein and calories, and then you'll be into the right situation where you can hit the best approach by doing a macro percentage breakdown. If you have any questions on this, feel free to comment below or email us at gritcityfitnessandperformance@gmail.com, and I'd be more than happy to help you with this process a little bit more. But start with just the good, work on building that, then go to the better, and then go to best. Hopefully this all makes sense to you and you can start implementing this right away by going to bit.ly/GC calculator.